Hi, my name is Jessica Drabont, and I will be facilitating this Canvas training. This video is designed to give you a little bit of an overview of how the training is going to work, and I thought I'd start by discussing some due dates. So you'll see there's some due dates for what's due week 1, and there's some due dates for what is going to be for the rest of the time, weeks 2 to 4. You'll notice week 1 there are more due dates and more activities. That's because there's a Unit 0 and a Unit 1. I guess it's pretty much a clever way of sneaking 2 units into 1 week. But the things for Unit 0 are pretty straightforward and pretty simple. Tuesday is the first thing something is due, and that is a Unit 0 discussion post. It's really easy. It's just an introduction of yourself. Wednesday, 2 things are due, replying to someone else in the discussion, actually replying to 2 other people in the discussion, and then a quick hands-on activity. It's very straightforward. And then Thursday, Friday, and Sunday are when we get into the more involved things. So Thursday, you have 2 hands-on activities due. Friday is the Unit 1 discussion post, and Sunday is when your replies to other people are due for that discussion. And then you'll see weeks 2 through 4, things are due on Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. So Thursdays are when hands-on activities are due. Fridays are when you have quizzes due and a discussion post due. And then by Sundays are when you want to make sure you reply to other people in the discussion. A couple things to keep in mind are that you can only do 1 week at a time, so it's not as though you can do all 4 weeks of work at once. They'll open week by week. And another thing to keep in mind is that I'll open them up the Friday before the week in case weekends are the time when you like to get a lot of work done. So you will have the option of doing the work the weekend before the week as well. So I've also included some of this information in the email that I sent out, but just to be clear, when you're ready to log in, you'll go to this website. It's ilearn.laccd.edu. That's the login portal for Canvas that we use. And you'll see the 2 places to enter your information, your login ID and your password. I will have emailed you what your login ID is going to be, but just so you know, and it says down here as well, it's the first part of your district email. And if you don't even know what that is, that's okay. I also sent in the email instructions on how to access that district email. A lot of people don't even know it exists, but it does. So also good to know is that Canvas by default is tied to this email, your district email. So you can change that in Canvas. Once you log in, you can change it to be set to a different email address. But just so you know, it's a good idea to know how to access this district email. So I did include instructions on how to access the district email in the email that I sent out. And then your password will be your employee ID number. Okay, so then you're going to log in and it'll take you to a screen that looks something like this. This is what Canvas calls the dashboard, and it's where you'll see any courses that you're associated with or involved with. So these are the 2 that we're going to be using for training. You may see a few other inactive shells, but these are the ones that we're interested in for the Canvas training. One is going to be called the sandbox. It'll have your name and then sandbox. And the other one is called Introduction to Teaching with Canvas. This website, the Introduction to Teaching with Canvas, is where all of the course content is going to be. It's where your lessons are going to be, it's where videos are, it's where you'll do discussions and quizzes. This is all the course content. What the sandbox is a place for you to practice building things. So in the sandbox, you're set as an instructor and you have the ability to create assignments or discussions or quizzes, and you're going to do all of those things for some of the assignments in our training. So this is your kind of hands-on practice place, and this is where you get the content for our actual class. So what I think is really helpful is to have both open at the same time. So what I like to do is right-click one of them and open it in a new tab. So now I have my sandbox open here, and I can open my course content here. So now I can go between this course content and then to my sandbox if I'm asked to do something in my sandbox. So just really quickly, I'll give an overview of this. You can go through these modules. You can see there's different units, and we'll be starting with Unit 1. And you can go through these units through this screen. You can click here on Introduction to Canvas and go through each of the units and click the next button. Or one other way you can look at things is through going to modules. If you click on modules, you'll see a list week by week of all the different assignments, the different material, assignments, quizzes, discussion, all of that. You'll notice that the coming weeks are grayed out. You can't click on those or access that information yet. That will open next Friday. But for now, you can look at Unit 0 and Unit 1. And the easiest way to do it is just to go through down the line, make sure you're going in order so that it all makes sense and you're not missing any information. There's a more detailed video about how to navigate through this website in your lessons, but what I wanted to show you really quickly is how it's going to work going between our course site and your sandbox. So once again, if you didn't open it in a new tab, you can remember you can always get back to your sandbox or to this Introduction to Teaching course site by going to your dashboard. That's always an option. So what you're going to do is you're going to start at the beginning and go through this information, participate in the discussion, look at this information as well, but I'm going to skip ahead into this Unit 0 hands-on activity to show you what it's going to be like to go back and forth between our course site and your sandbox. So if I click on Unit 0 hands-on and I look at this, and I know it's an assignment because there's a little box here that tells me I can submit my assignment. So basically what this Unit 0 activity is asking you to do is find your sandbox, go to your sandbox, publish it. So in order to do that, since I already have my tab open, that's nice and convenient. Now I found my sandbox. All they're asking me to do for this, really simple, is just click publish. So I'll click publish, and now my sandbox is published. I can go back to the course content and see, okay, what else was I supposed to do? And then I see, in order to submit my assignment, they want me to copy and paste my web address of my sandbox here. So basically they're wanting a link to show that I can click on to prove that you actually did publish your sandbox. So all I have to do is go back to my sandbox. I'm going to click on this link up here and copy it. And now I can go back here to my assignment, click Submit Assignment, paste my URL in, and click Submit Assignment. Just to be clear again, in my assignment, I'm being asked to go to my sandbox, do something in my sandbox, and then get that URL so I can paste it here in my assignment as proof that I did it. So what I'll do when I'm going through your assignments to give you points, I will look at your assignment, I'll click on that URL that you provided me, I'll see that you published your sandbox, and you'll get those points. So that's kind of how it's going to work throughout the course. You're going to be doing things in your sandbox, you're going to be building assignments, you're going to be building example announcements or discussions or quizzes. You're going to copy and paste the URL of the location of whatever you made back here in our course, and then I can see it as proof that you did the assignment. And a couple of tips for that, if I wanted to make sure I'm not feeling secure, I want to make sure that that link that I gave really is the right link, I can even try pasting it in a new tab and see, oh yeah, this is right. It did take me to my sandbox and it shows that it's published. I know that I did paste that correct link. And one other thing I want to show you, if I'm going here back to our class content, you always have the option of resubmitting the assignment before the due date. So if you think you did it wrong or you want to kind of double check or do it again, you can resubmit here. So you can always go back and redo it if you feel like you need to. If you're a little confused, it's okay. It'll become more second nature as you go through the course and you get used to going back and forth between the course content and your sandbox. But just again, for an overview, this course, Introduction to Teaching with Canvas, is where you're going to do discussions. It's where you're going to take the quizzes. It's where you're going to see information. And the sandbox is really just the place where you're going to practice building things, practice building your own discussion, practice building your own assignment, practice building your own quiz. All the course content is here. All the practice is done here in your sandbox. Okay, so that's a little beginning introduction to the class. Hopefully this will help as you get started. You can always message me within Canvas. I'll get an email notification, so I'll be able to see that you messaged me. And also, please give me 1 business day to respond to you. All right, good luck in the class, and I'll talk to you soon.